In this video, I'll be testing two of the best dungeon armor sets, Frozen Blaze and Necron. For this test, we'll be using fully maxed out pieces of Necron, Maxor and Frozen Blaze, with perfect jaspers, fumings and of course, a diamond Saidin head. The weapon will be a maxed Juju shortbow with fumings, and don't worry, the Soul Eater didn't change anything. Also, my damage was way lower because the game thought I was arch duping. Skill issues, even though I was soloing. First, we had Lev tested. He is Kata 44 and Arch 38. Here are the stats he got with full Necron. Here are the stats he got with a Necron chestplate and 2 pieces of Maxor. Here are his stats with Frozen Blaze. Also, he tested with Necron and Maxor boots at the end of the run. Now it was my turn to test. I'm Kata 34 and Arch 27. Here are the stats I got with full Necron. Here are my stats with a Necron chestplate and 2 pieces of Maxor. Here are my stats with Frozen Blaze. Also, I tested Necron with Maxor boots at the end of the run. Now I'll be rating them. All the Necron rankings have been done using E-Drag. Raw damage for Kata 44 at the end of the run. For raw damage, Frozen Blaze is easily the best, and a close second would be full Necron, and then Necron plus Maxor boots, and in dead last is 2 pieces of Maxor with a Necron chestplate. Raw damage for Kata 34 at the end of the run. For raw damage, Necron beats Frozen Blaze by a small margin, then Necron plus Maxor boots, and in dead last is 2 pieces of Maxor with a Necron chestplate again. For speed, the standings didn't change between me and Lev. In number 1, we had 2 pieces of Maxor and a Necron chestplate. Then we had Necron plus Maxor boots. And then in third place we had Frozen Blaze, and in dead last is full Necron. Same as speed, the standings didn't really change for EHP. Frozen Blaze was number 1 by a long shot. Then we had full Necron, which can't even compete with Frozen Blaze, unless you use a level 100 leg Yeti. And in last place again, we have 2 pieces of Maxor and a Necron chestplate. So we can see that all of these setups are really good and will carry you through dungeons. But which of these is the best? Well, I asked around in the skyblock subreddit, what's more important, EHP or damage? Most of them, those who weren't trolling, said speed and damage. Now if it was just damage, Frozen Blaze would have won by a landslide. But speed is also important, and it doesn't really give a lot of speed. So I'll be recommending setups depending on your stats and needs. This only applies if you use an E-Drag pet. If you can deal enough damage, use 2 pieces of Necron and Maxor boots. And if you're really high Kata, then you could try swapping out the other Necron pieces with Maxor. But if you want high survivability, decent speed and high damage, then Frozen Blaze is one of the most well-balanced armor sets out there. Never use an epic baby Yeti. You're better off using Frozen Blaze and a Blaze pet. But leg Yeti is really good and could help you if you're struggling with survival. The pet locked argument isn't really true. Yes, you can't use any other pet apart from Blaze when you're using Frozen Blaze. But you can't really use any other pet apart from E-Drag or G-Drag if you're using Necron, unless you want to massively reduce your damage. And beating enemies as fast as possible is really important for an archer or berserker, especially in master mode. So if you need to use the baby Yeti, you should probably not be doing master mode, at least the high tiers. So at the end of the day, it's up to you to choose. My job was to test, with as little bias as possible. But if I made some errors, or you have some questions, please tell me in the comments. If you watched the video up to this point, I sincerely thank you. If you want to watch more videos like this, click the button on the left. If you want to continue watching my content, click the button on the right, and don't forget to leave a comment as I read all comments.